appreciate it. Give us the words.
We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain, flowing to the ocean. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain, flowing to the ocean. Sing with us if you're able. Come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain, flowing through the ocean. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain, flowing to the ocean. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain, flowing to the ocean. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain, flowing to the ocean. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain, flowing to the ocean. One more. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain, flowing to the ocean.
This is a call for all the people longing for liberation, all who wander too often in the desert, not sure of the way forward, too often thirsty and afraid, looking for water.
Here is a call to collect ourselves and the hopes we have tucked away, set aside, too often for another day. Here we are building a welcome table that never finds its end.
A river that cannot run dry. The waters are always rapid, and then still steady, and then waterfalls. There is nothing tidy or perfect possible in this journey. Abundant life is messy and glorious, filled with risk.
This is a call for the diving in with all the dreams of your heart, the struggles, the silliness, the fear, the hunger, the courage, the community, the love.
Here we remember the time for joy is always now. Come, let us worship together. And now is the time for those of you at home, if you have a chalice, to bring it near as we say together the words by which we light our chalice. We kindle this flame, symbol of our faith, for the light of truth, the warmth of community, and the fire of love, which calls us to work for justice.
Good morning. My name is Katie Seifert. I'm your Director of Music Ministries, and it is always a joy to be with you this morning. My pronouns are she and her. And we are going to sing together this morning and throughout the service. So please stand if you are able and sing along in body or in spirit. This is our hymn, There's a River Flowing in My Soul.
There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my heart, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my mind. There's a river flowing in my mind, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my mind. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a
Good morning and welcome. My name is Reverend Sarah Oglesby Dunnigan. I am the settled minister here. My pronouns are she, her. And on this September 11th, while we remember the pain and fear of so many years ago that we have seen reverberated in so many spaces, both in our private spaces and public spaces all around the world, we also today commit to community and connection over and over again with each other and with everyone that we encounter as we move in our communities and our world together. So today we're excited to engage you in an in-gathering service that invites you to be a drop of water in the river of community with us, to bring your gifts and to receive from others their gifts of community, to find and make a spiritual home with Valley Unitarian Universalist. We know that there are many places that you may choose to spend your Sunday morning, and we are so glad that you're spending it with us, whether you are here in the room with us or online or even watching later during the week. And I turn it over to Marcy.
Good morning. I am Marcy Bodwin. I'm your Director of Faith Formation Ministry here at Valley UU. I use the pronouns she, her. Now is the time for our Time for All Ages. So if you're at home in front of a screen and you've got children, it's time to call them forward. And any kids that are in the service and can bring your adults if you'd like, come join us up front. We do have a little special thing that you get to partake in. So if you're wondering whether or not you want to come forward, I think you do today.
So this is going to require adults and kids to participate with me. We're going to have 3 sections. So this section is 1, 2, 3. Don't normally point, but I will point to indicate when you're going to join in. Okay, so on this side, we're going to just start with snapping our fingers. Just snapping your fingers on this side. Keep snapping, and now the middle group, you join us in snapping. And now this third row, all of us snapping. Okay, everybody stop. Shh, okay, super quiet. Now we're going to start with this row again, just softly, like little raindrops. And maybe they get a little bit louder, a little bit faster. This group joins us. This group over here. Okay, this group stop. This group. Okay. Now everybody with your fingers snapping. Okay, and now on your thighs. This side louder. Louder. Now this side with your hands. Rain can be kind of hard too, right? All the benefits. So we're going to give our little shakers back. So some of you might have noticed there's something new up front. Kids, what do you see up front that's not normally up here? What is it? It's a water fountain. So I wonder, do you think one drop of water makes a difference? How many people think one drop of water makes a difference? Everybody makes a difference. Yeah, just like a drop of water. Yeah. So what did you notice when it was just me doing this? Could you hear it? But when everybody was doing it, what did it sound like? And it sounded louder, right? We noticed it. That's kind of how it is when we come together as a community. Each of us matters as an individual, and we all give what we can. We're all like a drop of water, but together we make a fountain. So I want to invite the kids. Marcy's going to help me. I have droppers, and we're going to let each of you put a little water in a dropper and put the water in the fountain. So Marcy's going to demonstrate. And adults, you'll get to do this later. So we'll make maybe a line, do you think? Maybe a nice line, and then that line will be ready to exit after you've done your drop. So the fountain keeps moving and the water keeps happening, but each of your drops of water make a difference. And each of you this year makes a difference that you're here, that you're part of our community. Yeah, and you just start the line right there because you're going to lead us in a moment. We'll sing you guys out. So you're the beginning now of the line out through the tunnels of love. And actually, adults, I can invite you to go ahead and start making your bridge of love. Not yet. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I messed up. I forgot. We've got one more piece. Hold on to that. Hold that thought. Remember what that's like. So some of you might not be aware, but this is the beginning of our program year for the church. And in a moment, Marcy's going to be telling you a little bit more about what's happening and about who's going to be in our classrooms. But Look at all these amazing faces up here. Yeah. Let's give them a little rain.
You're making music too. We'll have to talk.
So our first day of classes, that's why we have so many kids. It's taking a little minute. So I thought that this year I should introduce you to your faith formation staff because it's bigger than just Skylar and myself. Skylar's around here somewhere. Oh, right here, there. Okay, so I thought that you would like to have a visual of who the other people are that work in faith formation. So we have a full nursery staff. Marie Catherine Smith actually came to this church as a teenager with friends. She just showed up one Sunday with friends and has stayed since then. She is our lead nursery care provider. She has 4 assistants. One of them I don't have a picture for. So Zoe, Katrina, and Clarissa, along with Alex, take turns rotating through the nursery. So we always have, 2 trained people in our nursery. So we have a new preschool teacher this year. And she's not here today because she has that lovely stomach bug that's going around. But Jenny will be our preschool teacher. So the next slide gives us a little bit of information about her curriculum. It's called We Are Many, We Are One. This information is also available on the back screens, I think, so if you're interested in more information. So then we have our kindergarten, first, and second grade teacher, Jules, who's right here in front. Last year, Jules was one of our volunteers, and this year she's taking on as the lead teacher for this curriculum. And her curriculum is called Treasure Hunting Take 2. So then we have our 3rd through 5th grader. Our Sharon Hagan has been our lead teacher. I was trying to remember Sharon 5 times, I think. You know, it's hard with COVID in the middle, so 5 years. And the curriculum for 3rd through 5th graders this year is one of mine and Sharon's favorite. It's called Harry and You, and it's based on Harry Potter. They all make wands. There are potions. They learn a bunch of different magic. There's also 7 Horcruxes, if you're familiar with Harry Potter. And in this case, they are 7 evils in our world that they will investigate and see how they can help with things like homelessness and food insecurity and things like that. So it's a fantastic program. Our middle school class has been taught by Dave Merrill. Literally, I cannot figure out when. So I took this job in 2009, and before that, I was Dave's assistant. So he is a match for the middle school kids. He does a great job. He's been around for a long time. His family went through all of our programs here at VUU. And their program this year is a social justice program based on The Simpsons. So fun. And finally, our high school lead teacher is Deb Chesney. This is the second or third time that Deb's been leading the high school class. They are also doing social justice work that's based on building attributes and skills for the youth to deal with our very diverse world. So I hope if you have any questions about any of our teachers or any Faith Force staff, you can let me know. But for now, I think it is time we're going to sing the kids out. Remember that when we go through the Bridge of Love, we're going to go through the glass doors, and we're singing Peace Like a River.
I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river,
Got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got pain like an arrow, I've got pain like an arrow, got pain like an arrow in my soul. I've got pain like an arrow, I've got pain like an arrow, I've got pain like an arrow in my soul. I've got tears like the raindrops, I've got tears like the raindrops, I've got tears like the raindrops in my soul. I've got tears like the raindrops, I've got tears like the raindrops, I've got tears like the raindrops in my soul. I've got strength like the mountain, I've got strength like a mountain, I've got strength like a mountain in my soul. I've got strength like the mountain, I've got strength like the mountain, I've got strength like the mountain in my soul.
Good morning, and welcome to Valley Unitarian Universalist Congregation. I'm Melanie Clunan-Schulte, one of the worship associates, and I want to extend a warm welcome to everyone, whether you are new here or have been with us for a while. But a welcome can't just be words that we say, it has to be embedded in the culture of this place. And that is one of the reasons you may have noticed many of us up here in the last few weeks saying what our appropriate pronouns are. Mine are she, her. And this is not a gimmick. It's a way to develop a comfort level with telling and asking rather than just assuming. The culture of welcome extends to after the service, when there will be coffee and snacks. Those on Zoom can stay for breakout rooms and socialize together. And if you're new, there will be a welcome circle by the back windows. And if you are visiting with us today, would you please now stand so that we can acknowledge you? All right, and let's also extend a greeting to our online participants by waving to each other. And Zoomers, wave back to us. The camera's over there, so you can wave. And as we settle into this sacred time together, please remember to silence any noisemakers. And if you have a little noisemaker that can't be silenced, there is a baby comfort room over to your right. It's a great place for a diaper change, for a meltdown, or just to get the wiggles out. Today, we will be bringing back a beloved ritual, the water communion, but in a new iteration to reflect our current community. Ritual can remind us of those elements of being human that still thrive and shine even in dark times. And sharing ritual together is one way that we support each other in community. Another way we support each other in our community is with our lay pastoral care team, trained associates from within our congregation who are available if you are dealing with difficulties or challenges. On Zoom, Joanne Smith will send a message of how you can reach her. And in the sanctuary, Dan Schulte will be available at the front after the service, and there's Dan. You can also reach them at pastoralcare@vuu.org throughout the week. Once again, welcome.
We accommodate all heights as well. So today I'm inviting you to consider what it is that you bring to Valley Unitarian Universalist and what it is that you receive. And I'm going to invite you, if you have a raindrop, hold it up. If you need a raindrop, Nick over here can hand one to you. I'm going to invite you to write on one side what it is that you bring, and on the other side what it is that you give. And Nick also has some writing implements that we can pass out here in a minute. There's no rush. There'll be plenty of time to get to that, but that's what you'll do with the raindrops. If you end up doing it after service, that's fine too. I'm going to be collecting them for next week, and you'll see them in a new iteration next week. But, so you'll be dropping your water drops into the bucket up here at the front. We're also going to invite you to drop your own drop of water into the fountain, just like the kids did. And I'll invite you in a little bit to start from the back of the room and come up the middle and then exit back towards on the outside. This is a way to symbolize that each of you brings a piece of yourself into this space, into the water that is the life of this congregation. Each of you contributes in some way. And these are important aspects of being in community, that each of us may feel like a drop of water, but together we are indeed a body of water. If you're online, you can drop in the chat your answers to what you bring and what you get from VUU. So you might just type bring and then a word or a phrase, and then get and a word or a phrase. And I'm going to ask Libby to save the chat, or somebody else who's online, maybe the pastoral care associate, to save the chat for me so that I can see all of that and add it to drops myself. And as we move through these two rituals of adding the actual water to the fountain and writing on your piece of paper, your raindrop, we will sing to you, and you are welcome to sing along. And the music will be on the slide here in a minute as well. And there will be plenty of time. So if you still need a drop, we'll get it to you.
The river is a healer. The river is a sage. The river knows no end, and the river feels no age. The river is a leader every single day. It's living in the moment, and it always finds a way. Water, heal my body. Water, heal my soul. When I go down to the water, I feel whole. Water heals my body. Water heals my soul. When I go down to the water, calls me over. It's calling out my name. In the day and in the night, I hear the river all the same. It's calling me over, calling out my pain. Oh, the river gathers tears just like the river gathers rain. Water, heal my body. Water, heal my soul. When I go down, down to the water, I feel whole. Water, heal my body. Water, heal my soul. When I go down, down to the water, by the water, I feel whole. The river is a traveler, it's always on the go, and a river never worries if it's fast or if it's slow. River, take me to where I need to go, oh, and I will just relax and let the river flow. Water, heal my body. Water, heal my soul. When I go down, down to the water, by the water, I feel whole.
Please sing if you're able.
Water, heal my body. Water, heal my soul. When I go down, down to the water, by the water, I feel whole.
Sing with me. River is a traveler, it's always on the go, and a river never worries if it's fast or if it's slow. River, take me to where I need to go, oh, and I will just relax and let the river flow. We sing,
Water, heal my body. Water, heal my soul. When I go down, down to the water, by the water, I feel whole. Water, heal my body. Water, heal my soul. When I go down, down to the water, by the water, I feel whole. Water, heal my body. Water, heal my soul. When I go down, down to the water, I feel whole. The water, heal my body.
the river is a sage, and the river knows no end, and the river feels no age. The river is a leader every single day. It's living in the moment, and it always finds a way.
Water, heal my body. Water, heal my soul. river all the same. It's calling me over, calling out my pain. Oh, a river gathers tears just like a river gathers rain. Water heal my body, water heal my soul. When I go down, down to the water, I feel whole. Water heals my body, water heals my soul. When I go down, down to the water, by the water I feel whole.
River is a traveler, it's always on the go. And a river never worries if it's fast or if it's slow. River, take me to where I need to go. And I will just relax and let the river flow.
Water heal my body, water heal my soul. When I go down, down to the water, I feel whole. Water heal my body, water heal my soul. When I go down, down to the water, by the water I feel whole. Down, down to the water, I feel whole.
Sing with us if you're able.
Water heal my body, water heal my soul. When I go down, down to the water, by the water I feel whole. Water heal my body, water heal my soul. When I go down, down to the water, by the water I feel whole. Water heal my body, water heal my soul. When I go down, down to the water, by the water I feel whole. Water heal my body, water heals my soul. When I go down, down to the water, by the water I feel whole.
Just our voices.
Water heal my body, water heal my soul. When I go down, down to the water, by the water
water, I feel whole. Water, heal my body. Water, heal my soul. When I go down, down to the water, by water, I feel whole.
One more time.
Water, heal my body. Water, heal my soul. When I go down, down to the water, by the water, I feel whole.
I'm going to put some drops of water in for those who are not with us in the room, but who are part of our community nonetheless. Our musicians, when they're able, will also add their drops of water. I think we have some folks in the back who made it forward, but in case you didn't, for anyone who was unable to make it forward, I add drops for you as well. This is a Sufi tale. A stream far from its course in far-off mountains, passing through every kind and description of countryside, at last reached the sands of the desert. Just as it had crossed every other barrier, the stream tried to cross this one, but found that as fast as it ran into the sand, its waters disappeared. It was convinced, however, that its destiny was to cross this desert, and yet there was no way.
Now a hidden voice coming from the desert itself whispered, "The wind crosses the desert, and so can the stream."
The stream objected that it was dashing itself against the sand and only getting absorbed, that the wind could fly, but this was why it could cross a desert.
By hurtling in your own accustomed way, you cannot get across the desert. You will either disappear or become a marsh. You must allow the wind to carry you over to your destination. But how could this happen? By allowing yourself to be absorbed in the wind.
This idea was not acceptable to the stream. After all, it had never been absorbed before. It did not want to lose its individuality. And once having lost it, how was one to know that it could ever be regained?
The wind, said the sand, performs this function. It takes up water, carries it over the desert, and then lets it fall again. Falling as rain, the water again becomes a river.
How can I know that that is true?
It is so, and if you do not believe it, you cannot become more than a quagmire, and even that could take many, many years. And it certainly is not the same as a stream.
But can I not remain the same stream that I am today?
You cannot in either case remain so, the whisper said. Your essential part is carried away and forms a stream again. You are called what you are even today because you do not know which part of you is the essential one.
When it heard this, certain echoes began to arise in the thoughts of the stream. Dimly, it remembered a state in which it, or some part of it, had been held in the arms of a wind. It also remembered, or did it, that this was the real thing, not necessarily the obvious thing to do. And the stream raised its vapor into the welcoming arms of the wind, which gently and easily bore it upwards and along, letting it fall softly as soon as they reached the roof of a mountain many, many miles away. And because it had its doubts, the stream was able to remember and record more strongly in its mind the details of the experience.
It reflected, yes, now I have learned my true identity. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain, flowing to the ocean. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain,
Start with the thirst, the deep well you have been forgetting, ancient and ready to be soaked, without shame, the well your grandmothers dug for you, the reservoir carved and cared for by the people your ancestors betrayed.
Your thirst is their faithfulness, undeterred from believing there are no strangers here. In the same thirst we are made and unmade, born and born again.
Thirst is the thing that remembers who you are. Before the land, the hard rock, your body stiff and unyielding, hungry for canyons, mountains, oxbow lakes, whole oceans of whales and sea lions, and even the bitter stories of slave ships and refugees refused at the shore.
The thirst can hold it all. Untellable tales of water coming before the ground is ready, water rising without recourse. Stories also of creation and construction, the pot boiling for tea and dinner, warm washcloths, and the first starts of a seedling in the spring.
The thirst tastes the air, knows the sky and the rain before it comes, and sets in motion the leap off the ledge of the dock, freedom bound into the startling cold, and the way the breath leaves and returns, like the sense that you are small, and also not unlike late summer monsoons, always on the verge of danger and undoing it all.
The thirst says, we are soft in these bodies, part river, flowing with the browns, the cut bows, the immigrant geese, sometimes too much, and risk ready, part creek, trickling for miles underground.
The thirst knows there is a way to turn every breaking thing into beauty, to flush the wound clean and begin the healing.
Again, thirst is what is possible when we tend to the wanting of all the world, the generations, the stars, starting with your one dry mouth, and the reaching for the glass, the pouring and the filling, the lifting to your tongue, and the drinking in until you are drenched in life. Water heal my body, water heal my soul. When I go down, down to the water, by the water I feel whole. Water heal my body, water heal my soul. When I go down, down to the water, by the water I feel whole.
This place, this moment, these people. This place, yesterday, other people. This place later this week, next year, many years into the future. Some of you and some of them and those and these and the ones not yet, but soon to be. Like the water in the river or the fountain, the people of this congregation and this congregation's ministries are never exactly the same from one day to the next, 1 year to the next. We are not static. As individuals, we do not enter and leave and re-enter the same. We too are made of water and move through life with our own ebb and flow. When you choose to share your life with this community, it may seem sometimes like a drop in the bucket, but the life of this community is changed by your presence and your gifts, and is also changed when you accept from this fountain the gifts of community. This room is holy space. It has been the recipient of your gifts, both tangible and spiritual. It has been furnished and decorated, organized and built by members who have thoughtfully contributed to a need or an idea. It has also been filled with your songs and nourishment for bodies that are hungry and thirsty. It has been filled with your prayers and your meetings, your assessments and disagreements and longings, weddings, memorial services. It has been filled with your ministry, your congregational mission and vision, and your ministers, of which I am only one. I want to take a moment of gratitude for all the ways in which many of you here and now, and many before this moment, have contributed to the living waters of this community through their service and gifts. And I invite you even right now to say out loud, thank you. Just thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And you're welcome, because you've also given. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. And to say the names of people whose contributions you may be grateful for. And we don't need to hear each of these separately. You can say thank you and a name and you're welcome. Just let those become like the drops of water that create the fountain. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Fred. Thank you, team. You're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Melanie. Thank you, Noel. Thank you, Carl. You're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah. If you're online, you can post these in the chat, your thank yous, your welcomes, the names of people who've contributed. Just let those flow in the chat like a river, too. Yeah, we can see them happening up there. So soon, we will be recreating this space in very physical ways, making way for new equipment and floors, making way for new configurations of this space and ways of being in this space. And we may send some of what is in this room now to new locations on campus or even out in the community. So you'll have a chance to reclaim some of these items next week, and some things will be recycled and shared again in new ways. And the water of the life of this congregation will continue to flow and revive us. We will each continue to find ways to contribute to this fountain and this community in the ways that we can. So if you're new today or have recently been joining us, you might have perceived some differences in this place and this community. Amen? It's a little different here. Yeah. Some of those differences may have felt awkward and uncomfortable, like learning new songs or observing new rituals, figuring out who's in charge of different activities and discerning the subtle cues of the unspoken rules of a new place. Some of those were comfortable and inviting, like an armchair at home, and they touched your core values and spoke to a yearning you may have had but not yet named. I hope that is the case for some things. You may have felt a yearning for acceptance or liberation or solidarity or even just recognition. And if you've been here a while, you've probably absorbed and forgotten some of those unspoken rules. Or if you've been somewhere else and come back to this congregation, you may be able to see what was invisible to you before. But if you're new, I invite you to not only ask questions, but to share what is currently visible to you. What piece of this experience will invite you to consider this your spiritual home? What piece of this experience will make it harder for you to return or stay? I want to know. We want to know. Because only you know the answers, but I hope that you will share these insights with us so that we may grow and change and white in the circle. And if you've been here a while, a few years or many years, something called to you and you decided to keep coming back. Maybe there have been times when you were thirsty for the offerings of this congregation and it gave you life. Maybe there were times when you left, still thirsty. Maybe there have been times when you filled the fountain with a pitcher and times when you quietly showed up as a barely noticed drop of water. But water is life, and you here are the living water of this congregation. Have you been or will you be the one to make sure that each one who enters here has the opportunity to drink their fill, knowing that this fountain, this community, will always be here, even as its shape and content may change and shift, just like the river that is carried across the desert? The essence of this fountain is its commitment to be together, to listen and to share life's challenges and life's joys. The essence of this fountain is to quench our thirst again and again for justice and jubilee, for companionship and community, for a glimpse of the eternal and the effervescent. I invite you to consider this place to be a place where you can lay down a burden or open your heart to the burdens of others. I invite you to consider this a place where you can sing with abandon, or dance, or sit with a quiet heart in meditation, or a grieving heart in prayer. I invite you to consider this a place where we might listen for the thirst all around us and show up with water, even if we leave it in the desert for someone we may never meet or know. To do justice in this world is to first know something of the pain in this world, to walk with each other's pain, to know the thirst of another, and to stand ready at the fountain, to make sure that all who are thirsty have their fill, and no one can stand in the way of a great thirst and deny such a need. May this be a home you return to again and again, but you will not find it unchanged. Indeed, to survive, this congregation may also be carried by the wind across a desert. And when the time comes, as it has before and will again, I hope you will embrace the opportunity to experience the necessary transformations to survive and to revive the essence of this life-giving community. Together, let us make this place a home that is welcoming and evolving, that is like the river and the rain and the ocean, like the fountains from which we drink, a precious resource and a universal need, a place where all are welcome and all may drink. So today we invite you to participate in the offering in whatever ways you feel called to do so, as a financial contribution made online or in person or through the mail, as a gift of your time and talent, as the gift of your presence and care. May the water of life of this congregation come to us as the many tributaries eventually arriving at the ocean. And we thank you for your generosity and your presence.
All right, we're going to sing this song together. This song is called Home by Philip Phillips, and we've heard so much positive feedback from many of you that this song really spoke to you in the last couple years. So we're going to make this an anthem this year. So we're going to split the congregation up in two. So pretend there's a line right down the middle here. You can, if you're right in the middle, you can pick if you want to be on the right or the left. And the right side, you are going to sing this first verse to the other half of the congregation. You're going to sing this to your fellow community members. And then this side, you're going to receive that. You're going to receive what they're singing to you. And then on the second verse, settle down, be the first words, you're going to sing it back. And you're all going to receive it. And then we're going to sing the rest of the song together. If this is new to you, you can hear it that first time and then jump in whenever you start to catch the tune. But if all else fails, there's a lot of ahs. And you can join us on the ahs. So let's stand in body or in spirit and sing this to one another, meaning every word.
Unto me as we go, as we roll down this unfamiliar road. And although this wave is stringing us along, just know you're not alone.
Nope, not at all.
I'm gonna make this place your home.
Now the other side.
Settle down, it'll all be clear. Don't pay no mind to the demons, they fill you with fear. The trouble, it might drag you down. If you get lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. I'm gonna make this place your home.
Hope you're singing with us online.
One more time. Hold on to me as we go, as we roll down this unfamiliar road. And although this wave is stringing us along, just know you're not alone. I'm gonna make this place your home. Settle down, it'll all be clear. Don't pay no mind to the demons, they fill you with fear. The trouble, it might drag you down. If you get lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. I'm gonna make this place your home. Come on!
be seated. Don't say there is no water to solace the dryness at our hearts. I have seen the fountain springing out of the rock wall and you drinking there. And I, too, before your eyes, found footholds and climbed to drink the cool water. The woman of that place, shading her eyes, frowned as she watched, but not because she grudged the water, only because she was waiting to see we drink our fill and were refreshed. Don't say there is no water. That fountain is there among its scalloped green and gray stones. It is still there and always there, with its quiet song and strange power to spring in us, up and out through the rock. May this fountain be yours, and may this fountain be ours to share as we need to add to and receive from the living waters of this congregation. My gift to you and to us, blessed be.
Let's go ahead and stand again in body or in spirit, if you're able, and sing our most beloved hymn, Blue Boat Home.
Below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean. Still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor nor port have I known. Wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun I sail and mold my rudder as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions. Now we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the lights of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great winds urging me on. See me in at sea before me, sing the sky my sailor's song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat
Let's join together as we extinguish the chalice and say the words by which we do that. Though we extinguish the chalice, our connection to each other and this community remains. May its light guide us this week as we walk the path of justice, speak words of love, and fill our world with compassion until we meet again.